Hello, it's Sue here from Inspired Messages Monday, and it is March the 12th, and we've got lots of things going on in the next 2 weeks until I come back again. So, first of all, we've got a new moon, and then we've got the spring equinox, and we've got the sun moving from Pisces into Aries, and so I'll talk about that a bit later on. Um, but really, what's come up in my messages is there is a lot of eight energy, and the eight in the Marseille Tarot deck is the Justice card. So I've got a picture of her here, and she's got the scales in one hand and a sword in the other, fighting for justice. And we've actually just had International Women's Day last Thursday, and we can see in the media there's lots going on about women's pay, women being treated equally, and also, that women have been used and abused, especially by people in power. So this is really kind of relevant, I think, that this card actually came up. And so this is a meaning really that we are infused with the power of the cosmos, that we have got a lot of power that we need to use. And it doesn't matter if you're male or female, if you're listening to this, because we need the yin energy as much as the yang energy. We need an equal. And it's not been like that. It's been very much yang, which is what's causing all the wars and destruction. So we need a lot more yin energy brought in by men and women, and I'm sure it will happen because there is lots of change. There's a big shift on the planet, and that really is about my affirmation, which is at the end of this video, and I will talk to you more about that when we get there. But it all ties in, and I don't know how it works because I do the messages, then I do the transits, and then I do the affirmation, and I do them all kind of haphazardly, but they all seem to fit in, which is obviously meant to be. So thinking about that card and the Justice card, and as being living in our own truth and standing up for what we believe in. And I think whatever we do, if we sign a petition or we stop the plastic or we recycle, or I know I've talked about this before, but I think it's really, really important that we take note of it, and we don't think that doing our little bit is nothing, because it is. Because if all of us are doing a little bit, then it makes a huge difference. So you need to be aware of what is just and what is not, and decisions need to be made out of fairness and integrity and a just outcome. And remember, we reap what we sow. Now, the other energy that came in today, or this when I did the messages, was this. This is the Chariot, and this is the number 7, which is actually the card just before the 8. And the Chariot is really very much about energy and stagnant energy that needs to be moved on sometimes. So it is important. You can see the horses are going in different directions, so it's important that we steer a steady course and we don't get veered off to one side or the other. And so we do have the ability to master our mind and emotions, and we have a lot of inner power, which is what this card means, and we will eventually reach our goals. So that's kind of my messages, and as I say, the affirmation connects with it. So starting today with the transits, which is the 12th of March, we have Mars, which actually rules this card, interestingly enough, because Mars is about fighting for the truth. So we've got Mars moving into Sagittarius, and so Sagittarius is a fire sign, and Sagittarius is also about the truth. So this is what I mean about the messages all fit in, and so Mars in Sag will trine Uranus. So Uranus is to do with the rebellion, really. And again, it's about humanity and fighting for the truth. So this is a really strong transit today, and it's great for planning exciting projects actually, and those projects which require lots of energy. And it will be a success because it's a trine. Okay, and then Tuesday the 13th, we've got Venus squaring Saturn, and now a square is always a bit more of a problem, and so it can cause conflict connected to relationships and finance because Venus rules both. And there might be a struggle, and with a need for relaxation, really, and attending your responsibilities. So one side of you wants to go off and have a lovely social time, and the other side says, no, I better not. I better do what I should be doing. So what I'm saying is try and get your jobs done and then go and relax. So that's Tuesday the 13th. And then Wednesday the 14th, the Sun will trine Jupiter, which is a great opportunity to expand ideas, re your life, what you think about your life. It's a real feel-good transit. And again, you could be planning something that's to do with the world travel or something like that. That's on Wednesday. And then on Thursday the 15th, the moon moves from Aquarius into Pisces as we move towards the new moon, which will be on the Saturday. This is a chance to view, things in a spiritual way, really, because when it moves into Pisces, it is about spirituality, and actually it is effective. The new moon is effective before Saturday because it's already in the new moon phase coming up. So I want you to think about that and think about what you can do that's like meditation, visualization, all that kind of thing, as we come up to the new moon on Saturday. And this is a chance as well tonight, on the Thursday the 15th, to view Mercury in the west, and it will be visible at 1820. That's if we've got clear skies, just above Venus, which is very bright and much larger. And it will set, because it sets like the sun at about in about an hour, about 19:30, something like that. And then we jump to Saturday. So we've got the new moon in Pisces, and it is a time for visualization for the next 28 days and what you want to achieve in that time. And, if you want to do a new moon ritual and you don't know how to do it, then just get in touch with me on my website, my contact page, either of my websites. The astrology one is astrologysue.com. and I will send you a PDF on how to do it. And it is worth doing because you actually set the next 28 days in stone. But this is a sensitive moon, it's water, so you might feel overly sensitive, especially if you've got planets in Pisces, like the sun or the moon or your rising sign or a few planets in that sign. Okay, and then on Monday the 19th, the sun will conjunct Chiron. So now Chiron is the planet of healing, and it's also the planet of wounds as well. But this gives you an opportunity to heal your wounds, and these can be physical, emotional, and spiritual. So again, if something's troubling you, this would be a really good day to spend some time, even if it's just 15 minutes, trying to heal those inner wounds or physical wounds or even spiritual wounds. And then on Tuesday the 20th, Mercury will conjunct Venus, and that invites great conversation with others of like mind. And it's a day when social gatherings will work. It will be happy time, and you'll enjoy yourself. So make sure you're with like-minded people on Tuesday the 20th. And then on the 21st, then we have the spring equinox, and this is a sign of spring. And it's also when the sun moves into Aries, and that's the sign of spring as well. And it's a sign that spring's on its way, and it is the start of the astrology year when we see the sun moving into Aries. And so, you know, we know that the bulbs are coming up and the birds are beginning to sing and they're mating, and, you know, it's, yeah, the right time. So that is on Wednesday. And then Friday, which is the 23rd, we're going to have Mercury going retrograde until the 14th of April. And this can bring problems, as we know, with communication. So you might have problems with emails that get lost, paperwork, contracts, and also you can have misunderstandings when you speak to somebody. So make sure if you've something important to say during those, oh, it's about 2 weeks, isn't it? Just over 2 weeks, well, 3 weeks actually. Then make sure if you're speaking to somebody and it's something important, that you actually, you know, say it properly and there's no room for misunderstanding. I always think when it goes retrograde, it's a really good time for reflection. And so not to look at it on the negative side if you can. So going within, reflecting on what's going on. And as it comes just after the new moon, it's quite a good time to carry on, you know, what you want for your next, you know, month. Okay, and then Saturday the 24th, we're going to have Venus squaring Pluto. So this can be a problem because it's a square and Pluto's about manipulation and power games. So that can bring power games, that transit. Obsession, somebody trying to manipulate you, or maybe you're trying to do it to them. And it will be maybe into a relationship area of your life, but it could also be involved with money and finances, where somebody's trying to get you to do something that you don't really want to do. So, you know, please be aware of that. And then on Sunday the 25th, we have the Sun squaring Mars, and that actually follows on from the Saturday, because you may have to fight your corner, you know, for what you want. So watch arguments and back off and wait for, you know, the energy to clear. If it's not happening, then that's fine. But just be aware on that Saturday and Sunday that there could be a few sparks flying. So this affirmation, I actually watched an MP3 video that I'm actually watching a series of for 23 days where people are actually speaking about ascension and about what the, you know, the planet's ascending. Has already ascended, but we're ascending. And one of the things that was said on one of them by one of the speakers was to say this affirmation, because we are really being controlled by the big corporations in lots of ways with our food and other things that I don't really want to go into. I don't want to get into that, but I just need you to think about the fact that we need to look after ourselves, and we don't need lots of the powers that be. I mean, for instance, you know, I was ill in 2015 and they wanted to give me 5 months of chemotherapy and some radiotherapy, and I said no to it, and I've gone very alternative, and I've been eating right and working on my health in that way, because I realized that I was ill for a reason, and I wanted to get to the depth of that, the reason of that. But I do have 3 planets in the Scorpio house, so you know, I that's me. I do want to go a lot to the depth of things, but I've taken it upon myself not to go down the route of what I think is being poisoned, you know, by mustard gas. So that's all I want to say on that. So the affirmation I want you to say is, a hand on heart. I claim sovereignty and I liberate myself from the 3rd dimension reality. I claim sovereignty and I liberate myself from the 3rd dimension reality. Because the planet is ascending into the 5th dimension, and so are we. And it will happen naturally. And it's going to happen over time. But I think we need to be thinking about everything that I've said today, and I hope it's not, I mean, I have said a lot today, much more than I normally say, but I'm passionate about lots of things. And so this is my platform really to get it out, to maybe make a little change in what you're thinking. Anyway, have a great week. Connect with me on Facebook. I've got 2 pages, Astrology Sue Fletcher and Life Purpose Tutor. Or come to my websites, which is 3 W's, lifepurposetutor.com or astrologysue.com. And remember, I am here to help. And, you know, if you want to speak or talk to me at any time, or email me, that you know where I am. So in the meantime, have a great 2 weeks, and I will see you again with another messages from Inspired Messages Monday. So bye for now. Bye bye.